SMR were called to UNT Marquis Hall with a problem on the original signage. I drove as fast as I could to get there. Here is a picture of the front entrance with the balcony and the signage above. Above the signage are two plates that were installed to anchor the cast stones vertically. Here is a view from a distance looking down the parapet wall on the roof. Close-up shows the signage rotating outward. A view from the other side confirmed this. The rear of the signage shows the anchor rods through the back of the sign. The bars were secured to the parapet wall on the other side of the roof. The anchor plate anchored on the rear of the parapet wall. A view of the balcony underneath the signage. Original drawings were limited due to the age of the building. A view of under the roof and the signage. Scaffolding was erected to gain access. Separation of the cast stones were visible. A close-up view of the anchor plate. SMR opened the roofing felt to reveal spalled brickwork. All our work on UNT was supervised by UNT staff. Roofers removed materials to see just what was underneath the felt. With preparations made and a repair strategy designed, we were ready to start. Removing the large coping stones safely were paramount in this operation. Some of the coping stones were extremely heavy. Preparations to remove the brickwork were made. Dismantling the signage had to be done very slowly. All the rubble was bagged and prepared for removal. The cast stones were taken away and stored for reuse later. Old corroded anchors were found in the wall, with some honeycombed bricks. Each piece of cast stone was numbered and catalogued for reuse later. With the signage down to roof level, the brickwork was revealed on the parapet. The other side was in disrepair also. Now was the time to review our options on the rebuilding of the signage. SMR had to come up with a sturdier design than the original. Some of the cast stones were stored on the roof for reuse later. The work was 4 stories high. Getting materials up and down was challenging. SMR made a makeshift hoist to remove the rubble from the roof. All the rubble was bagged. We estimated almost 10 tons of trash to be removed. Now we had to hoist the new materials to the roof. SMR designed a grade beam as wide as the existing parapet columns.
First of all, we're going to lay the blocks down into here with the largest block at the back. As you can see, we've got the steel going through the middle. On the front block, the 8-inch block, we've got another piece here. What we're going to do is we're going to actually insert horizontal rebar across to give it some strength, because we've already put the grade beam down. Having put the grade beam down, we can now build up the blocks safely to incorporate the stone at the front using Dayton Superior commercial shaped ties, which will give it a good density of metal and good strength to bond all of the units back together. We have gone a bit excessively over the top as to strengthening, but having seen what we started with, we thought we'd incorporate a bit more structural integrity to the building, give it a bit more of an overall long wear and tear with something that's a lot more rigid than was existing using today's technology.
With the parapet wall widened, we installed rebar to give it extra strength. The blockwork was designed with horizontal bracing as well. This picture shows how much rebar SMR used to give it strength. We could only bring up materials as needed due to a weight limitation. This was certainly the biggest jigsaw puzzle I have ever had to do. A view from Hickory Hall. SMR put plenty of stainless steel wall ties to secure the cast stone. Quality control was also paramount to the success of the project. SMR created a cavity for moisture to escape through the weep holes. Here, UNT were inspecting our work before the coping stones were to be replaced. The final layer of blockwork was being installed. And the cast stones were gently laid back into place. Here shows a picture of the wall ties holding the cast stone in place. With the signage back in place, it was time for the roofers to take over. The roof and signage were sealed with new materials. The signage was a lot more vertical than when we first started. The balcony. When removing scaffolding, SMR noted a problem. The cast stones around the balcony were loose. The reason being, a steel support was severely corroded and had pushed the cast stones upward. SMR removed the steel and the cast stones for cleaning. SMR were also able to prep the stones for repairing. The steel was then cleaned and repainted so that we could put the cast stones back on top.